Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the popular Netflix dating show, Singles Inferno Season 3, and more specifically, Guan-Hee. Now, when I started this season, I didn't really think much of him. He was a little loud, he was tall, and he was a basketball player. And I didn't have much reaction towards him in any way. I didn't think he was great, and I didn't think he was bad. In fact, I think he made a lot of sense, just like most people on the show. He wanted to get to know as many people as possible and then make his choice at the end. Now, before I start, I do want to say that this is for fun. It's a dating show. They only knew each other for 10 days. So my commentary is more or less like lessons and things we can learn and just kind of pointing out some of his red flags. But again, I don't think it's as serious and it's just for fun. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So one of the first lies that he tells is on his first date with Hae-sun in Paradise. He tells her that he likes to take the lead in relationships, but that is obviously a lie. As you watch the show, you realize that he prefers for women to chase after him. He wants them to make the first move, he wants them to confess, he wants them to denounce any other guy who might be interested in them, and he wants their full, committed attention. But when it comes to all three women that he's been interested in, or let me say four, I would like to say the fourth is Guri, but she never really cared about him, so we'll just make it three. When it came to all the women that he had some kind of relationship with, Hae-jung has to be the one who got the most honest and the worst version of him. He spoke to her a little bit harshly. I know that a lot of the time they were supposed to be joking, but I think sometimes when girls try to, joke with guys or kind of match their energy, they're doing it in a more like cutesy way to show that I'm interested. But I don't think he really liked her as much. I think he liked the way she looked, but I don't think he liked her personality. Why? Because she was kind of a mirror version of him. Plus, she was more bold and more confident, especially in comparison to Minji. Moving on, I think another really subtle thing that he does to kind of humble these women is to make jokes about their age. I didn't notice it until I was watching it a second time, but he's one of the only guys that makes jokes or tries to guess an age higher than the woman's actual age. And yeah, you could say he's 36, so he's hoping that they're older, but everybody knows that with the age shaming society for women that we live in, guessing a woman much older than her age is not a compliment. And now moving on to the most popular reason why a lot of people saw him as a red flag is when he referred to all three women as these girls over there. And he offended not only people watching, but people who were actually in the Inferno with him. And at this point, he hadn't even had any kind of conversation with Guri, but she still managed to take 33% of his interest. So if you don't know, he popularly said that Hae-sun, Hae-jung, and Guri take up 33% of his heart, and then he's leaving a 1% because you never know what could happen. And it's interesting that he had 2 Paradise dates with these 2 women, but yet he gave an equal amount to Guri, who he hadn't even spoken to. That just tells you that he's not really looking for a genuine connection. He's not really looking for somebody who likes him and he likes them. He's moving based on a ranking system. Who makes him feel good today? Who says the right thing today? And it's constantly changing. You can never appease somebody who is looking for who can compete and win his affections. Now, the next point I'm going to talk about, you might find petty, but I haven't seen anyone talk about it on TikTok, on Twitter. Like, people just gloss over the fact that he keeps recycling dates. He keeps doing the same thing and acting like, you're the only one, you're the only special girl. So he has these essential oils, which right before bed, he comes to the girl, he's like, hey, put this on your hand and put this on the nape of your neck. It helps to sleep. And at first I thought, wow, he's really into sleep care. And then when he did it with Minji, that's when I realized this guy, I don't want to call him a player, but I feel like he's not original enough to talk to these women, understand them, and have unique experiences with them. He's unoriginal in the fact that he's not that interesting. Yeah, he's funny, and I think that people who are funny or like to make fun of other people, like, he can never acknowledge that, oh, you look pretty today, you wore something pretty today. He always has to make a snide remark. And I feel he does that to hide the fact that he's insecure. I'm not trying to come for his jugular like that, but tell me why every single date is the same. He tells them a whole lot of, I think it's you, I think I've made up my mind, I think I know what I'm gonna do. You know, it's always I think. He baits them to kind of have them anticipating, what is he gonna say? Is he gonna choose me? Is he gonna pick me? And then he never comes to a conclusive answer. The only person who he's given a conclusive answer to was Haejong, because they had a conversation and she said, I would love to know whether you still have feelings for me. And he said, no, I don't think I have those strong feelings as before, which is great, I think it's a good thing that they were able to communicate. But once he did that whole essential oil thing with Minji, I said, no way. This guy recycles his dates. There is nothing original about him because he has no original thought going on. And speaking of Minji, I want to talk about what happens when you're surrounded by people who are all good looking. For all the people that come to Singles Inferno, in their own little communities, they're the most good looking. Everybody likes them. Everybody wants to date them. They could probably steal your man or steal your girl, and everyone would say thank you because you are the best of the best, so thank you for doing that. But when they come to a show like this, it's not the case because everybody's good looking. Everybody has something to offer. And you can feel small, you can feel insecure. And I'm not speaking about Minji in particular, because if you even look at season 2 of Singles Inferno, you had someone like So-E who wasn't getting that male attention. She didn't really get, the person who she wanted. And all of them have the same introduction. They, especially the ladies, they always say, everybody calls me the most beautiful, every guy wants to date me, so I know that I'm gonna be the breakout star here. And then they kind of fall flat on their face. Again, I'm not really talking about anyone in particular, but when I look at Minji's situation, what happened on the helicopter, and a lot of people are calling her a pick-me. And, you can call her that, but what I really think it is that, again, she's the most beautiful girl in her own hometown or school or whatever. And so she just assumed if she comes in midway through the show in a bright, banging dress, with a beautiful face and a beautiful body, which she does have, and I'm sure she's, a really nice person, all she has to do is find the guy that she likes and he will like her back, because getting guys is probably not a problem for her. But I think she became insecure when he was so sweet, so caring to her the night before or the day before when they were at Paradise. And it must have been hard seeing him with another girl because they have history. And again, a lot of the people that come to Singles Inferno are used to just being number one, the most beautiful, the most sought after. So she probably started feeling insecure when it felt as though he wasn't really paying her that attention. And in regards to what happened on the helicopter, I think she was looking for reassurance because he had been reassuring before. And she just wanted to feel like he's still in it. What would have been appropriate is if she just gave him a look and then he gives her a look and then it's a silent communication. Instead, she was making it physical. And of course, he was already annoyed that she didn't choose Jinsok when he specifically told her that's who she should choose. So he was already annoyed about that. But he was probably feeling like, I don't want to disrespect Haesan because I like her and it doesn't look good. Don't forget that they are also very aware that there are cameras and there were other people in the helicopter. So I just think he was trying not to seem like an obvious player, and she just didn't get that message that you can send a message without, words or physical touch. And I think people also have to be careful about using the word pick me because sometimes people are just insecure, people feel embarrassed, people cry because they're emotional, and I don't think that's something to weaponize against another person. But again, you might think she's a pick-me. I don't really think that, and we can leave it at that. So my final thoughts on Gwan-Hee is I still think he's going to end up with a girl at the end of the show. It might not be the girl he wants, but he will end up with someone. And I think he's also going to have girls who will choose him, but he's not going to choose them. And I think this will happen simply because his day of reckoning has already happened. The trailer for episode 10 and 11 try to make it seem like he's going to get exposed, but I don't see that happening at all. What I think will happen is Hae-sun will realize, and low-key I think she's just being camera safe. I feel like she doesn't even like him that much. She's kind of pretending, and she wants to have like a girl boss moment, I'm gonna walk away from him type thing. And so right now she's just kind of playing it easy, and she'll kind of, be done with him at the end. And that might hurt his feelings because, maybe he likes her a little bit more, but I highly doubt it. I don't think he likes anyone that much. I think he loves himself the most. And when it comes to someone like Hae-jung, even though she was the one that called him out, she's also the one that went and confessed her feelings to him. So for whatever reason, she really likes him, and because she's the one that confessed, she's not going to be able to walk away because he already said, I don't like you that much, so he already walked away. And with Minji, he will probably choose her because she seems like the girl who is most obsessed with him, unless she's gonna be the girl that at the end is like, I don't want you, you didn't treat me well. But I have no idea. I really don't like guessing. I think he is a red flag. I know people will say red is their favorite color, but if you ever encounter a guy like this in real life, do yourself a big favor and go the other way. He may be handsome and funny and interesting, but you will always have to fight for his attention. You will always have to change yourself, change your hair, change your weight, because it's right now we're just seeing the surface level. Don't forget there are cameras. He only has 10 days. And I'm not saying that he's like an evil guy. I'm just saying that there are types of guys that will take it deeper. They will try to let you compete for their affection. The reason why I'm not taking you on dates, the reason why I'm not nice to you is because I don't like your hair, so dye your hair this color. The reason why I don't want to do this for you is because I don't like the way you dress. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. So, if you ever encounter this, do not even try it. He may be funny, but you want to be laughing tears of joy. You don't want to be laughing in pain. So at this point of the video, I'm going to end it right here. I think I have a few points that I wanted to mention, but I don't want the video to be too long. I would also like to hear your comments down below. Like this video if you can, subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next video.